right, welcome back to the Trap Talks TV podcast. And we're back with another episode of our interview show, Talk Your Shit with Trap, where we sit down with entrepreneurs, creators, and get to know about them, see what they got going on, and see, just chop it up a little bit. And on this episode of Talk Your Shit with Trap, we got a musical artist with us. He go by the name of Tim Léon. I said that right? I got that right? Timothy
Yeah.
Léon. All right, Timothy Léon. All right. We out here. We out here. How you doing, bro?
I can't complain. Can't complain. Glad to be alive.
Yes, sir.
Nah,
Yes.
for real.
Facts. And of course, I am your host, CJ Speed Rusher. We got my other two hosts at the top, Londo and Kenny the Great with us today. And bro, I found out about you. Let's just start off like that. I found out about you. I was asking for R&B singers because I love R&B. I'm an R&B nigga for real. So now everybody just started dropping names, and I see you in there, and I had to hit you up. And you sent me some songs and stuff, and definitely a vibe, bro. Definitely a vibe. That needed you. I fuck with that shit. I fuck with that shit. That's that vibe. That's that vibe for real. But so how'd you get started with music though?
Same way a good majority of people get started on the R&B side. I grew up in church. Singing. My dad is as well as my mom. Both of them are actually musicians. My mom is a trained dancer. Music was always just around the house all the time. Most of the people in my family sing, so it came naturally.
Okay, and so with your mom being a dancer, is that where you get like because I don't know if you remember or not, but we performed together at Lane Voices a couple times, but I was with my group, New Palace. But you want to actually what I like about your music, you actually perform. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not just standing up there. Like you actually put on shows, performances. That's what I love about your music. So could you say that your mom is what kind of segued you into want to give them a full show instead of just having a good voice? Because you can sing already, but you actually be up there, hitting the moves and shit and
Right.
doing all
Even the videos, bro. I was saying like, oh, bro, really dancing for real. Like,
oh, like yeah, like bro, put
like
on
for
the
real.
like, bro,
Like,
put on the show, no cap.
Yeah,
They
I
put
would
it on,
say
don't they?
definitely. My mom. Yeah, my mom is definitely a big influence in that. Because my dad loves to say, my dad swears up and down that I get my dancer from him. I've never seen my dad dance on beat in my life.
He said, oh,
But my dad dance on beat a day in my life. But he was a drum major when he was in high school. That there's no video footage of it that I'll believe it when I see it.
right.
Maybe I have to get a time, something like that. The experience what that was like. But my mom definitely was a trained dancer. She boogie, she still get down. But even more so than just her, also great students. And I believe that we should be great students of those that came before us. And if you look into R&B, if you look into the Michael Jacksons, into the Ushers, into the Boys to Men, into all of the different groups and the R&B greats from back in the day, a lot of times we emphasize on the fact that yes, they were real vocalists that could really sing. But if you went to those concerts, especially back in the day, you got a full show. They were dancing. They couldn't just be artists that could sing. They actually, you look at their videos, they were hitting choreography. They were giving you a full show. A lot of times I feel like that's what's missing a lot in a lot of R&B nowadays, especially on the independent side. You have a lot of people that can sing, but you don't have people that really give you show quality.
Right.
And I think that's what really separates the I would say that separates the artist from the icons.
Nah, for real.
And I think in this industry, in this age, it's not enough to be an artist. You have to be iconic.
Right.
Exactly. Or what you doing it for?
Right.
I feel exactly the same.
And it's crazy when you say that because the first person I thought it was like a party next door. Like when you see him perform, he's just standing there or he's sitting there singing.
Yeah, this nigga might get a couch.
Right. Just sit there. And Party is one of my favorite artists. But like you said, you gotta do more than just sing to be like iconic or forever remembered and stuff like that. You can always be remembered for your songs, but like Beyonce, Michael Jackson, they remember for their whole performance and things like that.
You gotta have something that people are gonna like more than just the vocals. Yeah,
Right.
be some like Michael. People are passing out from Michael just
Standing
him
there.
doing a moonwalk.
Bro, he just stand
So
on
you gotta like
stage.
right. You gotta
Period.
yeah.
Period.
Everybody falling on his shit.
Stood on stage. Michael Jackson stood on stage and took off his sunglasses, and they had to call the damn ambulance.
Come on,
Exactly.
dude.
That's
Facts.
iconic. That's iconic. That's iconic.
Yeah. That's something that never leaves ever. Like that's something they'll remember 100 years from now. Like you remember the dude that had niggas passing out?
Just from standing there with pyro
Yeah.
behind them. Like that's it.
Right. Yeah. Just don't have the pyros too close to your hair.
Yeah.
We know what happened to him.
Chill out.
That, and I think that's just important because, like I said, show quality is really missing in a lot of elements in the industry. Because one thing about it, we have to remember that as an artist, I mean, we all know that as an artist, you're not really making much money off of music nowadays.
Right.
So,
touring.
Chloe Billy that your music is your ad. Your music is the thing that gets people interested in wanting to do endorsements with you or wanting you to perform live and wanting you to do live shows. So a lot of money is made in touring and live shows, but you have to really think about it and be rational as an artist and say, okay, if I'm going to do a live show, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money going to see somebody, and I feel like I could have stayed home for this if I was just gonna listen to you sing the record. I could have just stayed home and played this on my Spotify or played this on Apple Music. Like that's unto what I could have done. I could have just watched your video. It was more entertaining to watch your video than to actually see you on stage, and I think that's what a lot of artists, especially on the independent side, don't really focus on a lot, because it's one thing a lot of people love to say, oh God, you have to take out a loan to go to a Beyonce concert, or you have to spend so much money to go to an Usher concert, or spend so much money to go to a concert with certain artists. But you have to really take into consideration what you're actually paying for. You're actually paying for an actual experience, and the experience happens from the time you get out of your car and go inside the arena to the time that you leave. There's certain things, elements are always in place. There's a reason why certain people are standing at the door. There's a reason why they have you waiting for a certain amount of time and the lights are shining a certain kind of way and you're sitting there waiting for the show to start, and then they're showing a slideshow of this type of picture and that type of picture. There's a reason behind all of that. And then there's all the people that are in the production crew and all that different stuff. So you're paying for way more than just to hear them sing. You're paying for that full production of a show. You're paying for the entire experience. And a lot of artists, I believe, want to be paid but are not offering an experience.
Right,
That's
exactly.
facts. That's
Most
facts.
artists.
Even exactly, and that's not even on just the R&B side, because even some rappers be like that. They be having a whole experience with their shit. You're not just gonna just sit there
like
and listen.
Kendrick.
Yeah, Drake. Like when I went to Drake shit, that nigga had like a whole look at hologram looking shits and shit like that. Like it was a whole different thing going on. Like that's why them tickets be high as fuck. But hey, it is what it is. Like you said, you got if you want to be iconic, you gotta do iconic shit. So this is the way it is.
Play the game to change the game.
Exactly. So
exactly. No one's gonna remember your performances if you ain't gonna, do something to make them remember.
Yeah, exactly. So you from Albany, bro? You from
no, CAMILLA. I'm from CAMILLA, Georgia.
Okay. So how was that? How was the come up at CAMILLA?
Interesting. Interesting. That's my fallback word. Somebody told me that I use the word interesting, and it really determines the way that I say it, that you know what I actually mean. Growing up in CAMILLA's a very small town. Very small town. Not much exposure to a lot of things, especially the arts. Which is crazy, because the craziness about CAMILLA is there's talent everywhere. And I'm talking some of the most talented people you'll ever meet live here and are from here. But a lot of them you'll never know they're actually from CAMILLA. But growing up in CAMILLA was interesting. Not really much going on, other than like sports, different things like that. Very country, very country town. But for me, it was different growing up because my dad is from Dawson, Georgia, which is still kind of small and kind of country town and everything. But him being a musician made things a lot different. But my mom is actually from Trenton, New Jersey. So I grew up very much traveling a lot. I grew up traveling a lot. Like I was always in New York or Miami or Texas or somewhere like that, just always visiting different places. So even though I was from Camilla, I was very much exposed to the fact that the world was way bigger than where I was from. Which in turn made me weird to a lot of my peers. I was always a dude growing up. They would call me, white boy. They would call me all kinds of different things, and that was only because of ignorance. Because I wasn't like everyone else,
Right.
and that was only because I was exposed to more. So
Right.
growing up was very interesting. But I appreciate my hometown. I really do, because even growing up in a small town, it still keeps you grounded, because even though you know that you have these ideas and great opportunities are opening from you, at the end of the day you have to remember, nigga, you was from Camilla, Georgia.
Right.
But how
You have
do
to
you
remember that.
remember that you from Camilla, Georgia? Because like I'm gonna be honest, I know a couple people from Camilla, and like you say, like, oh, but yeah, I was saying like, how do you like stay putting on for Camilla? Because I know a lot of people from like those like small towns and stuff like that, and they'll just say like they from Albany.
Right. That's why I was asking, because a lot
Mhm.
of people just say they just from Albany and just call it that.
You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like,
Yeah, like
damn, it'd be like, damn, we around the same age. I don't remember you going to these high schools and nothing
Right.
like that's crazy.
exactly. That's like people from Stockbridge that say they from Atlanta.
Right.
That type of thing. Like real talk, like
Yeah.
real talk.
That's a whole, that's two
Um,
totally, yeah.
yeah, I say like, I mean, when you're from Camilla, you kind of feel like you're from the Albany. You kind of feel like you're from the Albany area,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people try to hate on Albany, but in our region, that's like the hot spot. That's the spot that most people, if they're not from Georgia, or they're not from this part of Georgia, that's the one city that they at least know about in this
Mm-hmm.
area. You say
Right.
Camilla, they don't know what you're talking about. Bakerton, they don't know what you're talking about. Tifton, they don't know what you're talking about. Leesburg, they don't know what you're talking
Right.
about.
Dawson, none of them type of
Right,
things. Yeah.
right.
You say Albany, like, oh yeah, I know where that is. They know what that is. But for me, I still put on for Camilla because um just having a foundation of being grounded, having a foundation of being grounded and not being ashamed of humble beginnings. And I think that also comes from just doing your research and doing your homework. You'll be amazed how many people actually are from this area. Like a lot of people actually do not know that Patti LaBelle is from Mitchell County. The
Yeah.
Camilla,
See, yeah.
the
Yeah, that's a
Camilla
clip
New,
worthy one right there. I
Right.
ain't know
Right.
that.
like, people don't even know that Patti LaBelle is from Mitchell County. We all know that Ray Charles is from Albany.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A lot of people do not know, like, there's a
Wait, Ray
there's a
Charles is from Albany?
You know
Yes.
that?
Paula Dean's from
What the
Albany.
hell?
Paula Dean with the
Yeah. See,
Monroe.
he from up north. He don't
Who's
know.
who's
He from.
Paula Dean?
You don't know who Paula Dean is? Oh
Is
Lord.
she
Anyways, keep going.
is she
We
cook
got
or
5 minutes
something?
on this timer. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I
a
don't know
lot of
Paula.
people do not understand that there's so many people that are from small towns. Like John Travolta. John Travolta is from a small town. I can't even think of what the name of the town is, but he's literally from a very small rural area. And most people be like, he's from there. But you'll be amazed how many
Harriet
people are
from Family
actually
Matters.
from a town.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said
Literally.
Harriet from Family
Like you'll
Matters. She's
be
from
amazed how
Albany.
people.
Oh, she is?
Yes,
Oh
Harriet
wow.
from Family
I didn't
Matters.
even know that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I
she's
didn't
from
know.
Albany. The wife from Family Matters. I'm talking about the first wife now,
Yeah.
the dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That.
it should our family.
Yeah. Sugar Mama. Yeah. Sugar Mama. Yeah. She plays Sugar Mama. Yeah. That's her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. That's her. Yeah, exactly.
Nah, see, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
but just aren't really. They don't know how to for some reason, I guess people feel like being from a small town, and granted, being from a small town, you can get very caught into the culture of the town and really branch yourself out more. But you have to remember that the world is bigger than where you're from, and you have to understand that you can travel the world from anywhere. And yes, there are more opportunities that are in Atlanta. There are more opportunities that are in LA. There are more opportunities in bigger cities in different places. But a lot of times, a lot of people don't even understand the benefit of being from an area that people don't know about. Because if you move to Atlanta and you start doing things on the Atlanta scene, eventually the people in Atlanta will treat you like a local because you're here, you live here, you're a local. It's like, oh yeah, you one of these Atlanta artists. So anytime that I'm in Atlanta, there's a different level of appreciation because it's understood that this dude ain't from Atlanta. He from somewhere we don't even know where he from, and he traveled to get here. So now we're going to give him a little bit more respect. And then not only we gonna give you respect because you travel to be here, but then you dope on top of that.
Right.
So it's like I think a lot of people just have to. I mean, to each his own. It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like, I put on for CAMILLA because I don't have any shame in where I'm from.
Right.
Same.
I mean, that's how it's supposed to, yeah, that's real. That's real. And it's when you said about the Atlanta thing, it's like when you go up there, it's also you could get lost in it too, because there's so many people doing it. You know what I mean? Like at least if you in your local scene, yeah, everybody might be trying to be a rapper or a singer or do this or do that. But if you're really dope, you're gonna stick out more. I think you'll stick out more in a local, like small town than you would in a place like Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like you have more, I don't know, I guess more push in your local scene. But at the same time, I don't know, because people act like they don't want to support you. It's that crab in the bucket mentality everybody always talk about. So you might get better off going to a strange place because they might respect you more because you're a stranger. It's weird how that works too.
Oh yeah, our people always respect somebody more when they're not necessarily from that place. Because there's a lot of people that are in Atlanta that are artists that were born and raised in Atlanta, and they like, I don't get no love, and it's
right.
like
Right, but somebody from outskirt or some shit come in and it's like, oh, we fuck with this thing. He can even
That's
claim
why
Atlanta.
I hate when I see on interviews and niggas like from out of town be like, Atlanta, they do this and they help each other and everybody like that. Bro, it's not. It's
not like that. Right, it's clicked up.
Clicks,
yeah.
niggas. If you're not associated with one of these said groups, you're not getting in. Like that's how Atlanta really is ran.
Right. It just looked like that way because
it just from TV it looked like that. Right. You know.
And you have to, and a lot of things are clicked up in Atlanta and in New York, in LA, and all the different areas. It's all about a lot of things. Is not about what you got and what you know. It's who you know. So you just have to know how to finesse your way through and how to and know the art of networking.
Exactly. Oh my God, Kenny, how many times have I said this? And niggas made me feel like I was dumb. Niggas, man, listen. Yeah, but back to what we were saying. We had a little technical difficulties on this side of life. Yeah, with the Atlanta scene, like with just I don't know, with the stranger aspect of it all, like strangers will get you rich before your family and friends would. So let me ask you this: how's your support system been ever since you started really getting, like, let's just say, getting serious with music? You know what I mean? Because people always, when you start something up, they don't take you serious. You know what I mean? But when they actually started taking you serious and stuff, like, how has that support system been?
Support system, I guess a better question. Are you saying like my support system from like people that know me?
Right, yeah, more on that side of like the beginnings of it. You know what I mean? Like your friends, family, people like that.
Well, I'll say this: my support system with my family and friends has gotten a lot better because I got the nerve to fire them.
Right. Okay. Explain that.
Starting.
All right. So what you say about the firing? You had to start firing them.
Yeah. So I believe that things got better and people started taking me more seriously when I started firing them. Because what happens is when you're working with people that you're familiar with, when I started out, I would use a lot of people that I grew up with, a lot of people that I was friends with, different things like that. And I would do that because I had to get to that place as an entrepreneur and as an artist where I wasn't afraid to go and hire people that I didn't know, or hire like the talent that I actually wanted. And a lot of times, we'll work with the talent that we can get, and a lot of times we'll end up with lackluster material or lackluster work because we work with what we got instead of actually going and getting what we want or what we need. So I would work with a lot of people that were so I worked with a lot of people that were around me that I knew, that I grew up with. And what ended up happening was familiarity is a wonderful thing because it can keep you grounded. But a lot of times when you're a visionary, people that are familiar with you, if they can't see what you see, it will breed the ground for disrespect.
Nope.
And a lot of people will take loyalty over respect, but a lot of times you end up in a lot of bad situations when you're so concerned about loyalty and versus respect. And I'll even say this, that a lot of times we get that screwed up because we confuse loyalty with history. Just because somebody agree with you doesn't necessarily mean that they're loyal to you.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
Always work with people
you can
that
know
I
a
had,
stick for 20 years.
Exactly.
period. You can know somebody for 20, 30, 40 years, and they'll turn on you with the right opportunity. And you looking like, dang, I didn't expect that because we have so much history. So I started, instead of looking for history, I started looking at a person's integrity. I may have only known you for 2 months, but I can see that you're a person of integrity, and I can work with that. So I started firing a lot of people that I grew up with, like letting them know, hey, I love you. No hard feelings. This isn't a personal move at all. But right now, where I'm trying to go, and what not even where I'm going and what I'm doing as an artist, as a visionary, you don't fit in that thing.
Right.
And not only, and it's not even so much that you don't fit in the vision, but you don't fit in the vision and you're not willing to do the work so that you can.
What? That's exactly
Because
what it is.
at work, I can't continue to waste time on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta let you go. I love you, but
Yeah.
I let you go.
Yeah. This shit mean more.
Yeah, and in truth, that also honestly opened the door for me to see what their support really was. Because a lot that I was familiar with, that I grew up with, that were family members and friends, a lot of them only supported me because they got something out of it.
No cap.
Yeah. Yeah.
No fucking cap.
Do you support me when you're not a part of the show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the ones you really need to keep a hold to. If I let you go, are you still gonna promote? Are you still gonna do this stuff? The stuff behind the scenes stuff that you not on the camera and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we know how that go. We know how that go. Yeah. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Timothy, bro. So what's some of your since you say, like, I hear that you big on networking and going after things you really want. So what's some big artists that you want to collab with?
Big artists I want to collab with. I mentioned her before, definitely Chloe. I could definitely see myself collabing with her. Chloe, I'm very eclectic with my style. So I could see myself working with Chloe. I could see myself working with Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Her. I dig Ty Dolla Sign a lot. I dig his stuff. I could see I could definitely see myself working with him. And I can even see myself working with people like Paramore.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
Okay. Yeah,
fan.
that's not okay.
Yeah, I can hear that too. No
Yeah.
cap.
Yeah.
I could love to do something with them. Her,
Yeah. I was
definitely
about to say,
her.
what about like people like her, Giveon? Like you mess with
Hey,
her?
I'd love to hear you do something with Gold Link.
Oh yeah, Gold Link. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
hard.
Shit, I ain't gonna cap. I feel like you and SZA would be fire.
Yeah,
Him
Scissor
and
too.
SZA.
Scissor
Facts,
too.
Oh
facts.
Scissor
That's it,
shit,
too.
right?
Scissor too.
that shit would be too hard.
definitely be good. Her latest album is dope. Her latest
Yeah.
album is
I
Yeah.
had to
dope.
I had to listen
All
to
that
it a
shit.
couple times
Yeah.
before I really felt it like the other one. The other one was better to me personally. The other one, what was it? Control? I think it's called
Control,
Control. Yeah,
Control, that's that debut though.
yeah, that's
You know,
always gonna be that way. That debut gonna always hit different.
But I ain't gonna lie, I feel like they said that this was her first album or something. I could have sworn I read that somewhere that they said that this was like her first one. Like I feel like they was like trying to call Control like a mixtape type shit or something. But
Hell
I don't
no.
know. But
Nah, Control
I don't.
cannot be a
No, I'm
mixtape.
saying.
That shit got
I'm just saying what I think they said about this the newest ones. They said,
okay.
or maybe they were saying that this is her first #1. I just seen first somewhere, so maybe I was just reading it wrong. But yeah, him and SZA would be fire. That's for
Who's some
sure.
what would be a legendary name, like dead or alive, legendary name that you would
a legendary name that I would work with, dead or alive.
yeah, dead or alive. If it was like
Mm,
if they had like a verse for whoever that was dead, that they were like, hey, we want to give it to you type shit.
Prince.
Prince. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
that boy
Yeah.
Prince a
Yeah.
legend, boy.
Yeah.
Fuck,
That's
I didn't
yeah.
get to meet Prince.
Yeah. Most I was expecting some you say like Michael Jackson, but Prince definitely. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Michael Jackson. Like that's a sure. That's a
Yeah. That's sure. Yeah. That's definitely. Yeah. Yeah. That's different.
because
What
his
about
name is
Whitney?
Oh,
What about
Whitney.
Whitney
Whitney.
though? Yo,
Whitney. I would definitely work with Whitney. I would definitely work with Whitney.
What about Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
Like on some that.
Would definitely see that. Me and Aaliyah's my voice, the way that my voice is, our voices would really complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aaliyah's tone is very light and it floats.
Right.
I have that same type of thing. So our tones would complement each other very well. I think a lot of people I don't compare them, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that we hear Ariana Grande doing now would be Aaliyah if she was alive.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
The tonality of their voices are similar. Aaliyah had that light, airy thing, like listening to her is like literally floating on a cloud. And I think like Ariana Grande has that same tonality in her voice. But yeah, definitely them. I could definitely see myself them.
So we always ask artists this when we talk to them because you know it's always a big thing that in an artist's career eventually they either hate their label or they want to go back independent or this and that. So what's your thoughts on signing or staying independent? Like what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on signing or staying independent. I appreciate and recognize the power of a label because when you're signed to a major label, you're automatically put into a space of opportunity for distribution that other artists may not have, or they have to work very hard to get.
Fact.
But what I would say is you have to just be the type of artist that knows how to weigh the pros and cons, your pro and cons.
Right.
Because staying independent means you still have a lot of control. And granted, a lot of labels, depending on the label, a lot of labels are now kind of going into the area of letting artists have a bit of control on what they want to do. Now, some are not. Some are definitely not. They still believe we're the label, we're paying for everything, you're going to do what we tell you to do.
Right.
They still believe in that. But there are some labels, like if I was to get signed to a label right now, I would very much want to get signed to Partwood, which is Beyonce's label. I would definitely want to get signed to her label because she really does. She definitely steers a lot of things that they do, but they still are able to create as artists.
Right.
Now she'll give her insight on it and be like, okay, you did something. I'm gonna be honest with you, that ain't it. Go back, try something else.
Right.
Instead of being like, okay, this is what I want you to do. It's more so do something and I'll look at it and okay, I think this will work. Let's put it out. That's really what the kind of direction that she takes with her label. And I would love to be a part of a label that's like that. But like I said, I appreciate the power of a label. And because of that, I am very interested in being an artist and being signed. But I would still say if you're gonna sign to a label, do your homework. Do your homework. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you take classes in entertainment law, so that you understand the lingo contracts, understand what you signing,
Right.
all of that different stuff. Because a lot of stuff that we even love to say, oh, you need a lawyer, you need a lawyer. Can you really trust your lawyer?
Right.
Hey,
Especially if it's a lawyer from the label. Exactly.
So,
if it's a lawyer from the label, they really trying to help them more than anything.
exactly. So it's like, no, not oh, I need to go get me a lawyer. No, you need to go and gain that knowledge. So that way,
right, I can read these clauses.
I can read this contract myself and I can tell you what it means.
Right. Exactly. Nah, that's real. That's real though. That's real. So when you go in the studio, what's your prep? What, like, how you do all this? Like, what's your preparation before you go in there and lay down the tracks and stuff? Like, what's your writing process like? Like, what's that like for you on it? Like, a day in the studio?
Well, my writing process is different. It's different. It comes in different ways. I tell people most of the time I look at music. It's the weirdest analogy, but I look at music like Pokemon.
Yeah, that's different. Why you say that?
I look at music like Pokemon because I feel like music. I'm a very spiritual person, so I believe that music already exists and that songs already exist and that they're entities by themselves. A song already knows what it wants to be, how it wants to be, and how it wants to exist in this world. And it lives on a frequency that you have to be keen enough to catch it on.
Right. Okay.
Being a person that can still yourself and sometimes even getting in a meditative state and be able to still yourself and quiet your mind enough to actually let that song come through you and you being the actual birth canal for that song coming into the world that we live in. That's a very deep way of putting it.
Bro, that shit.
But
like, bro,
it made sense though. Yeah.
shit I've been trying to answer for like years, bro. Cause like I think I may have told Speed this before. Like it kind of be like that. Like when I be paying, like it be like some be telling me what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
some be like, all right, you just gonna do this. Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And I always be wondering like, what the fuck do that beat type shit? But that's a good way of explaining it.
No, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like
That's
channeling type shit.
Yeah, you're
Now,
channeling it.
Sometimes I just have certain situations of life that experiences. Lately, a lot of the songs that I've been writing now have been coming from experience. And those experiences happen. I believe in journaling. So I'll go and I'll journal and write down a lot of my thoughts and my emotions because I'm a Capricorn. And because I'm a Capricorn, I am naturally a person that holds things in. I don't always verbalize how I feel. And because of that, I always end up expressing it by writing it down. So when I write down how I feel and write down what I'm thinking, eventually those words, something strikes in the inspiration and it becomes a song. Or I'll have a situation of, like I said, experience is good, but I also understand and appreciate the power of imagination. I don't necessarily have to go through a thing in order to actually write about it because my imagination can be so strong that I can write it and make you think I'm going through it right now. So I'll utilize my imagination sometimes, but I very well have the skill set of just sitting down with the beat, like being in a writing session and writing some things out and allowing like the actual like skill of lyricism to flow. But I usually do better with songs just coming to me.
Yeah.
And just from experience or something like that.
So, like I said, I told you, I think before we even start recording, I like that "Your Needed You Most" song. I like that song. So how was that? How did that come together? Was that more of a personal thing that you put on? Because I kind of felt like it was, you know.
Need You was very personal.
Yeah.
Need You was very personal. I went through a situation in my life where I was going through some things emotionally, and also going through some things business wise. And right when I needed certain people in my life the most, they didn't know where to be found.
Right. Mm.
And it's like, it's interesting how certain people, they're around when they need you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you need them for some reason, they find the most, that's usually the most convenient time for them not to be available. And also, like I said, I'm a believer. I grew up in church, my dad's a preacher. There's a particular if you watch the video, at the beginning of the video you see a fig tree.
Mm.
And at the end of the video, the fig tree is on fire. And that's actually reference to a scripture in the Bible where Jesus actually saw a fig tree and he was hungry and the fig tree had no fruit. And then he cursed the fig tree that it wouldn't be able to provide for anybody else. And a lot of people will look at that and say, why would Jesus curse the fig tree? But if you understand how fig trees grow, when a fig tree is in leaf, and the scripture literally says that the fig tree was in leaf, and then when he got there, there was no fruit. So when a fig tree is in leaf, that is an indication that fruit should be available.
Mm.
And when he got there, he's like, okay, you're indicating to me that fruit is available, and I'm hungry, and I'm here, and you don't have what I need. So a lot of times in our lives, we run into situations, relationships, and moments where we run into people that have a lot of false advertisement,
Right.
where you're advertising that you have what I need, and when I need it, you don't.
Right. Your true colors show through for real, what it really is.
We get in relationships with people that says, I'll be here for you emotionally, I'll be your supporter, I'll be your this, I'll be that. And then when you actually need that shoulder to lean on, they're not available. And it's like, where
Boy,
was
you're
all this
preaching, boy. You're
where
preaching
was
today.
where was all this talk? Where was all that stuff that you said? You said that you would be this. Now I need you. It's like I actually need you now, and you're not there. So that's where that song came from.
Yeah, I felt that one. I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with that. I felt that for real, for real.
Real
But
shit.
nah, that's real shit. But Kenny, you got anything before I get on to my last question for real? I know you be
Shit.
having the musical side of things for real.
No, for like we already asked about the top artists. Oh, yeah,
Oh, what about the local artists? Have you worked with any local artists? Like from the 229 area, not just Camilla, but like anywhere out there?
Local artists from the 229 area. I've written for a few.
Okay.
I've written for Pratiska Soul. I've written for her. I've written for J Law. I've written for him. I've actually written and vocal produced for him. I like to do vocal production, like the whole 9 yards of how to lay your background vocals, like how to actually get this song out, because I'm also a vocal coach. And a lot of people, they can sing, but they don't really know how to utilize their instrument.
Hmm.
So I like to be that person that's in the studio that's like, no, you can hit this note. I can hear it in your apparatus that you can actually hit this
You just
note.
gotta bring it
You just
out.
don't know the technical way of how to get it out. So I actually like to be in the studio and help people like that. So I've definitely worked with Pratiska Soul, J Law. I've worked with Jennifer John. I've written and recorded, done some vocal production for her. Um, um, Different people. And I would definitely love to work with even more local artists on the production side of things, and even collaborating with a couple of them as well.
Mhm. Yeah, would you collaborate with some like hip hop artists too? Because I can see some of your like style being on some sampling and stuff like that as well. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Because that's how a
I'm
lot of
definitely down.
yeah.
I'm definitely down to work with some hip hop artists. I'm I'm one of those people that I'm particular about hip hop artists because I'm one of the people like I like it when you got something to say.
Right. I respect that. None of that shoot 'em up,
I
bang
don't want you
bang
to go
shit.
on. Like, don't come on here with the Dr. Seuss shit. Like
Right.
the one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. And we like, huh?
Right. Come
No,
on, there was some
we,
shit that actually got to say. Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
a lot of my lyrics, especially if I'm writing, a lot of my lyrics, I really try my best, even when I'm being clever, to really I like to write things that make you think. And it's like we're not gonna present this much substance and then you come with some other stuff. Like, nah.
Nah. I feel you on that. But anybody else? Check out Londo. You're on mute, bro. You're on mute.
You know me.
He was going. He about to
It's
talk.
it's not a it's not a it's not necessarily a question. It's just like just hearing just some of your shit. It's like I can see definitely you going to real big places and growing up in church the same way you have because my uncle's a pastor and all that. So I definitely connect with just like because I can hear it in your voice. You know what I mean? Like you can hear like literally like it's like God told you like as a kid like that you was gonna be in this type of you know what I mean environment. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm fucking with it. It's really great music and it's nice to hear because a lot of times nowadays it's not music with substance or
right.
people don't want to reach out into that R&B lane and there's really good music to come out of that. You know what I mean? So
Most
that's all
good
I
music
really
is
want.
music. You
Right,
gotta
no,
look
right,
at
yeah, like
you
and
look at
especially
history.
in
Most
this
of the
climate,
good music that lasts,
It'd be
that
R&B.
shit be like pop or R&B
Mm-hmm.
for real. Like
right.
Oh, who was it that said this? I'm glad we got an R&B person on with us. I think you're our first R&B artist. Um, do you think R&B is dead? Like, do you think it's dead for what it used to be? Because I can't remember who it was. I think it was Diddy. Was it Diddy that said that the R&B was dead?
yeah, but he was
Yeah,
like, we gonna bring it back.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm more of an R&B person than these two. I guess because I listen to it more. I don't think it's dead, but
But see, we even said it on the show though.
yeah, that's what
Niggas
I'm
like
saying.
Drake
Like, I
fucked
don't
it
think
up
it's.
for
I'm gonna
R&B.
say
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
there's
it's
a
grabbing more people like it used
there's
to.
a
Like,
reason why we said it's dead. Mo, it's dead because there's not people going into that genre, and then the people that go into that genre aren't talking about R&B type of things. That's supposed to be love. That's supposed to
right,
be, yeah, I mean, make you feel something. These niggas talk about shaking ass and shit. That ain't singing. That ain't R&B.
right.
Don't no one want to.
And I'm gonna say this. I don't think that R&B is dead. I don't think R&B is dead. I do believe on life support.
Mm.
I'm talking about chronic, boy. It's
Ugh.
fucked up, boy.
Yeah, yeah. Especially on the male side, I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying, bro. The male R&B singers, them niggas want to be rappers.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
One thing that they have to remember, R&B may be on life support, but one thing that can be guaranteed, soul never dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soul music, soul singing, that never dies. Like, and we're seeing it even more, like even with our British artists. Like, there are British artists like Saint Harrison, who's a totally white boy, completely British, has accent and all, darling. Like, literally is completely British, but that boy sings down. I'm talking sings down, like literally sounds like you grew up in somebody's Pentecostal church in the backwoods. Like, I'm talking sing down. Then there's like people like Yeba, like like
Oh man, yeah, that's the one.
like soul never dies. Soul
Yeah.
never dies. And soul can be presented in different ways. Like, I consider myself, I automatically get put in R&B because of
Right.
two things. One, I'm a soulful singer.
Mm.
Two, I'm black.
Right.
Because of that, I automatically get labeled R&B, but I actually consider myself more so as a pop artist.
See, Miles said that. I think Miles said that, right?
Yeah, Orlando
Miles
said that
yeah.
earlier. He said, bro, this R&B is kind of like pop.
He's like, it's like pop, yeah.
Yeah, but what's going on, I believe, with R&B, like you said, rhythm and blues.
Right.
Rhythm and blues. Like there aren't many people now. Granted, there are a lot of artists that are writing about heartbreak and different things like that, but you aren't really finding many artists that are writing about heartbreak. That are writing about actually being in love and wanting love and believing in love and celebrating love. Like, if truth be told, we just writing about, we just writing about, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with writing about sex, but it's not making love. It's just sex.
Exactly. I mean,
And I
that's real.
think people, because I think a lot of times, because our art comes from our experiences, I believe that we'll start to get more R&B music and more love music when people start actually allowing themselves to be in love again.
Whew. Now that's yeah. Yeah.
No real shit.
Nah, that's real.
Bars.
I think that's it right there.
Bars,
That's it
nigga.
right there. That's it right there. That's it right there. So my last question personally for you is, well, actually two last questions. You got anything? What you got coming up music wise? Anything coming out that you want people to check out and stuff like that?
Yes, right now I have a single that's out called You.
Okay.
There's a video that's out for that.
Yep, I heard that one too.
It's a very nice record. Very nice record. I also have a record dropping on Valentine's Day, called "Walk in Fire." It's a love song. It's a love song. It's about. I have another song that will be releasing soon after that one. It's it's a sexy song.
Huh?
Um, it's one of those.
It's one of
It's
those.
one.
Okay.
It's definitely one of those. But yeah, it's just be looking out this year. My goal is to really just launch out, branch out, and really just push my brand and push my music even more. So you'll be hearing a lot from me.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. And my last question, bro, and then we'll let you get up out of here and stuff. But after this question, you go ahead and plug yourself, where they can find you at too. What would be some advice you would give to the next up and coming you? Or, if a kid was to come up and just be like, hey, how did you get this far? Or what made you want to keep going and stuff like that?
Okay. I'll say two things. One, I would say create what you love, not what's hot.
Okay. Right.
Create what not what's hot. Because as an artist, a lot of artists are having to spend their life savings in therapy bills because they've spent their entire careers creating what they were told to create and not what they really wanted. And as a creative, you have to be able to express yourself. So you have to be able to find that balance between, I'm doing this because it's marketable, or I'm doing this because I think this will work. But at some point, you have to love what it is that you do, because you are the one that has to go and perform it. You are the one that has to sell it. You are the one that has to do that. And at the end of the day, if you don't love it, you can't really sell it, because you need confidence in order to sell. And confidence will sell water to a whale.
Facts.
Confidence will to a well, and if you're not confident in your art, you're not really going to sell it. So you have to love what you do. You have because the music industry can definitely be a lot of work, and if you don't love it, you'll fall into feeling like you're doing a lot of work, and you'll easily give up on it. That'll be the first thing. The second part, I would say, like I said, the best advice I could give somebody. Second thing I would tell them is the best advice my dad ever gave me. Go ahead and face the reality that a lot of people are not gonna like your shit. And not because it's bad, but because it just may not be their cup of tea.
There we go.
I don't care if you my grandmama. I don't care if you are anybody. You can't make me eat chitlins because I don't like them.
Hell no. Yeah, nope.
You can say all day you make the best chitlins in the world. You know they good. I'm telling you, they'll change your life. I'm not eating them because I don't like chitlins. So there are people that are not going to like your stuff simply because it's not their cup of tea. That doesn't mean that it's bad, but that just means that it's not necessarily for them. But Do not allow yourself to be hindered by the aquarium of people you're trying to impress when you're really called to an ocean.
Boom.
So
boom. Bar.
The world is
God damn, you should. And the shit you be saying, that should be. I'd be like, realize that shit. Sorry,
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like every
nigga
time
be
he
taking
says
us
some
to
shit,
church.
it made me
I'm
like,
like,
damn, that shit just hit me on a different level. I feel
Bar.
Ooh, no, I said bar.
He said
Damn.
the aquarium of people when you're really supposed to be in the ocean. They got you
Oh,
trapped, my boy. Oh
brainwash.
No,
man,
you got
this
you
was more.
strapped.
Right. All
Who got
right.
No, but I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying.
What the hell? Lana, you got paused. You got muted.
No, I know. I was done.
Oh, okay. But damn,
No, I was
bro.
done. I was just saying that was good. That was good right there. That had. Once he said that, I was like, whoa.
Well,
Okay.
so we don't
Took
have
me
to
like
start a
that.
new. So we don't have to start a new one. Let's go get these plugs in then. I don't know. I gotta figure out what's wrong with this Zoom shit. But Mr. Timothy Léon, that's how you say it, right? That's how you say the last part. Thank you for being here with us, bro. Thank you for the opportunity. We gotta get you back on once I fix this damn shit and talk again because you got some good knowledge with you, bro. And we definitely appreciate you being on with us, bro, for real. And so
Thanks.
where can they find you at, bro?
You can find me on all social media at I am Timothy Léon. Once again, that is I am Timothy Léon. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all of it. I am Timothy Léon. You can find me there. You can also find me on all digital platforms. All of my music is there. So yeah, find me and I'll be performing in a city near you soon.
Exactly.
So yeah, catch me then.
There it is. And Supreme, go ahead and get us out of here, man.
Of course, man, it's your boy Kenny Supreme. You can follow me on all social medias at Kenny_Supreme with 2 E's, art, media, and music. Y'all fuck with me.
Londo. Yeah, y'all know where to find
Hey
me.
man, it's Trap Londo. I was Trap Londo on Instagram. My name on Facebook. Spawn Vader on Twitter. Trap Talks TV everywhere. My bad, I couldn't get that out.
There
Trap
you go.
Talks TV everywhere.
There
All
we
right.
go. There we go. And I am CJ Speed Rush. Trap_Bambino on Instagram and Twitter. CJ Rush on Facebook. Trap Talks TV on everything else. We're here. We're there. We're everywhere. That's Timothy Léon with us right there. That's Kenny Supreme. That's Londo. And we are out. This is Talk Your Shit with Trap.